Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing my first round of my winter wardrobe from Huckberry featuring Flint and Tinder products. Now Huckberry did send me these products as samples for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I do not share this content with Huckberry product publication and they will see this when you do. In addition to that, there are affiliate links in the description box down below. If you're considering buying any of these garments or anything else from Huckberry, please consider using those links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do earn a small commission from the sales, and all the money goes back to the channel, help me produce more content so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. So, we are back with Flint and Tinder, one of my favorite product lines, and again, we're getting ready for the winter, so we have a couple different layers. We got going from t-shirts all the way up to what I call the warmer wax trucker, the wool-lined Flint and Tinder wax trucker jacket. So what we're going to do is start with the lightest, the base layer. We always need a base layer, especially in the winter. You need that something cozy against your skin to start to help to fight against the cold air that's inevitably going to freeze you to the bone. So with that, we are going to start with the Flint and Tinder Quality Goods graphic tee. Now I will say, up until the past couple of years, I have not been a graphic tee guy. Yes, when I was a kid, I had all sorts of different graphic tees, that be bands and skate companies, but for the past 15 years or so, I have been mostly wearing just plain cotton tees of multiple colors, but in the past year or two, I have once again started to collect a couple of different graphic tees, and most of them are from companies that I genuinely like, one of which being Flint and Tinder. And even though this is the Flint and Tinder Quality Goods graphic tee, the t-shirt itself is very comfortable. It is the same quality that I have come to know and expect from Flint and Tinder for all of the different pocket tees and plain front t-shirts that I do have from them. I would say this is a mid-weight t-shirt, or as I like to say, an all-around t-shirt. It's not too heavy that you can't wear it in the summertime when it's a little bit warmer, and it's not too light that in the wintertime you don't feel like you are wearing nothing as a base layer. Now the t-shirt does come in at $48 USD, and for point of reference, I am 5'9", roughly 175 to 180 pounds, a 42.5-inch chest over a t-shirt, and every top featured in this video will be a size large. And I have been wearing this t-shirt at least once or twice a week since I have gotten it. And most times you can find me wearing it just like this underneath a cardigan because I like this style. It's something that I've been doing a lot lately, not just with this t-shirt, but with many different t-shirts. I've been wearing them underneath the cardigan, and that is going to lead us into our next product from Flint and Tinder, which is the Birdseye Cotton Polo Cardigan. Now this cardigan comes in two different colorways. This is the black coffee as seen here. It also comes in the dark navy. Now this comes in at $98 USD, and I would say this is probably on the lighter weight of a cardigan. It's not too heavy, and it's pretty good for this time of year, which is I would call a transitional period where we're having some very cold mornings, and then we have some either cool afternoons or still some warmer afternoons in the mid-50s, even encroaching on 60 degrees. So this is something that I can wear pretty regularly for either as a mid-layer underneath maybe something like a vest, or just underneath a jacket, that be the Flint and Tinder wool-lined wax trucker jacket, or one of my favorite jackets, the Flint and Tinder flannel line wax trucker. And I've also been wearing this underneath some unlined denim jackets because again, it is a very good versatile layer. And this is basically how I've been wearing it, over a t-shirt. And I will say I've honestly been wearing cardigans interchangeably with sweatshirts as of late. I have two cardigans, both of which are from Huckberry, that I genuinely love and wear all the time, this being one of them, and I've been wearing them interchangeably with both my Flint and Tinder 10-year hoodie and a hoodie from another brand. And honestly, it's really whatever is closer to me when I'm heading out the door is what I'm throwing on. Although I will say I do favor the cardigans mostly when I am going to work, because I do work in an office building, and while I do have a very lax dress code, I can and will wear sweatshirts during the week. I try to look a little bit nicer than the average Joe, and at the very least, I do like to throw on a cardigan, even if it is just on over a t-shirt. I think it looks a little bit better than me wearing a sweatshirt at work. But it has been very comfortable. It's been a really, really good layer for me, and once again, I've been wearing this a lot, at least a couple of times a week since I have received it. Now moving up in the Flint and Tinder Heat Index, we have the 10-year pullover hoodie version 2.0. This comes in at $138 USD. This is available in 6 different color options, seen here in the mild heather gray. Now this is the 2.0 version. As I said, it is a little bit boxier of a cut than the 1.0, and it is also a little bit heavier, coming at 13.45 ounces. This is also a USA made garment that is backed by Huckberry's 10-year guarantee, meaning that they will fix it or replace it within and 10 years of purchase. Now, I will also be doing a side-by-side version with the Flint and Tinder 10-year hoodie 1.0, but we will do that in a separate video. But right now, let's talk about the one con that I have found with this hoodie, and is that it sheds a lot the first time you wear it. I did anticipate this, and actually when I did my test try-ons in the unboxing version of this video, I intentionally did that last because I had it on over the black Flint and Tinder quality goods tee, and I knew when I took it off I was going to be wearing a gray Flint and Tinder quality goods t-shirt, and yeah, that was pretty much the case. But what I simply did was took it home, turned it inside out, washed it, dried it, and now it does not shed at all. So please note, when you get one of these hoodies, yeah, if you wear it before you wash it, it is certainly going to shed all over your clothes. But this has been a great hoodie to wear, especially for some of these really cold mornings. So what I've been doing is when I go downstairs to take the dog for a walk at 4:30 in the morning, when it is between 22 and 30 degrees out, I am now taking off the sweatshirt that I would have either worn to bed or tossed on while I was putzing around the house, and throwing the 10-year hoodie on because it is a great layer. I wear this with a puffer jacket, and even though my body has not yet acclimated to 20 or 30 degree temperatures, I am toasty warm wearing this hoodie. If it's a little drafty, I pull up the hood and I am good to go. One other point of note that I will say is because this is heavier than the 1.0, the hood is a little bit bulky on the back of the neck at first, but once you wash it and wear it a couple of times, it breaks in and now does lay much better on the neck. I don't feel as though I have a pillow behind my head, but yes, because it is a little bit bulkier of a sweatshirt, you can feel it bunching up behind your neck, but after about 2 wears and a wash, it's just like any other sweatshirt. The hood lays fine and I don't notice it behind my head at all. And I don't want to make it seem like I've only been wearing this to walk the dog. This has also been one of the sweatshirts that I have been wearing interchangeably with the cardigans. So yeah, even on the cold days when I'm going into work or on the weekends, I've just been grabbing the 10-year hoodie and throwing it on, because the 10-year zip-up hoodies that I've had for a couple of years now, they are heavy, they are warm, and they are incredibly comfortable, and those are generally my go-tos for such an occasion. But I have been favoring the pullover lately because it's just a little bit cozier, because it does have the full kangaroo pocket, which I'm not gonna lie, I really love in a pullover hoodie having that full kangaroo pocket. But it has been really warm and really comfortable to wear. Just don't wear a lighter color sweatshirt over a darker colored t-shirt until you launder it. Now let's make this Flint and Tinder 10-year hoodie just a tad warmer by adding the Mason Canvas Work Vest. Now this comes in at $158 USD, seen here in the Washed Earth colorway. It is also available in a limited edition Realtree camo colorway. Now this vest is made from a stretch canvas shell that is 75% cotton, 24% nylon, and 1% spandex. And that tiny bit of stretch will help if you are wearing it over something a little bit bulkier, because it's going to allow you to get it over there for a little bit extra warmth without feeling like you are restricted. But for me, I'm finding that this size large is a really good size. It fits well over just about anything I've tossed it over, that be it a lighter cardigan or the beefier 10-year hoodie, and I still have a little bit of room, so I can actually wear this over even heavier layers and still be comfortable to wear this. But this has been something that I've been kind of going to for some of these mid-afternoons or early evening walks when the temperatures haven't quite dipped back down to the low 30s or below. This has been a great go-to layer for walking the dog in the early evening, and because workwear is still in trend, it does not stand out wearing it to the brewery or taking your daughter to a play date at the trampoline park. And one other thing that I would like to point out, because it might look very familiar to you, this is quite reminiscent to the old Carhartt Sandstone vest. It does have a very similar color pattern to it. While it is not quite as abrasive or hard to break in as the Canvas Duck, it does kind of have that look without you having to launder it 100 times or wear it for 3 years before it breaks in and it lays on the body well. Now let's break into the big boy, the Flint and Tinder wool-lined waxed trucker jacket. Now this does carry a little bit heftier price tag at $358 USD over the flannel-lined waxed trucker that is $298 USD. But this is still a 100% US made garment. Both the Martexan sailcloth shell and the wool liner are US made, as well as the jacket being cut and sewn in Los Angeles, California. Now in addition to it having the warmer wool liner, the actual Martexan shell is an 8¼ ounce as opposed to the 7 ounce of the flannel line. So you are getting a heavier weight canvas and a heavier weight liner. One additional difference between the wool line and the flannel line is that the wool line version does have a poly line sleeve. And the reason for this is so you can slide your arms both in and out of the jacket much easier. The thinking here is that you are going to be wearing this with much warmer clothing, that being heavier weight brushed cotton flannels, sweatshirts, things of that nature, and softer, thicker, warmer materials do create more friction when you're trying to slide your arms into the sleeves, so having a poly or satin lined sleeve allows you to get the jacket on and off much easier instead of creating that friction and having to do that dance to get your jacket situated and your sleeves pulled down to the cuffs, so your long sleeve shirt doesn't turn into a 3/4 sleeve shirt bunched up inside your jacket sleeve. And I will say this is a great jacket. I have had this in the past. I did have to upgrade to a size large from my size medium because my personal growth patterns, so I did have to request another one that fit me a little bit better, but I can rest assure you that my old medium is still being worn and used by a friend of mine that absolutely loves it. I would say the temperature range for this, I can comfortably wear this down into the mid to low 20s. I combine it at that temperature range with a Relwyn Winzip vest. It's a great mid layer. Combine it with this jacket, a pair of gloves, you can spend hours outside and be completely fine. I spent at least 3, if not more, hours outside at a Christmas market last year in this exact setup, and I was toasty warm, a little bit of hot chocolate, and yeah, we just kept walking around enjoying the lights, enjoying the scenery, and it was totally fine wearing this jacket all night long, even after the sun went down. So now the big question, are all of these items worth their price tags? And honestly, yeah, I think they are. You have a American-made garment here, both the Martexan sailcloth, the liner, cut and sewn in LA. We have another American-made garment, cut and sewn in LA, that also carries a 10-year guarantee on it. Even though this is made in Vietnam, it's still great quality stuff. Now, I've said this in the past about Flint and Tinder and a couple other brands. Some of these brands that I work with repeatedly, I do it because I genuinely like the products they're putting out. Flint and Tinder has been one of my favorite brands since I bought my very first jacket from Huckberry with my own money. Yes, the very first item that I bought from Huckberry was the Flint and Tinder wax trucker jacket. I spent my own money on that, and then I actually bought a second one with my own money before I even really started getting the ball rolling working with Huckberry. So I genuinely like Flint and Tinder. And I will say, because it's right here, the other cardigan that I wear all the time is also a Huckberry one. It's a Welland cardigan, and I'm a little bummed that they don't make this anymore because this was my favorite cardigan. I absolutely love wearing that sweater. I wear that probably until I got this. I was wearing that the most out of any other sweater that I possibly own. It's so soft, it's so comfortable. I love it. So yes, I do think that the price tags on all these items are worth it. They're very durable goods. I have not had an issue with anything Huckberry. I have. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. Hold on. I'll even show it to you. This is the second Flint and Tinder flannel line wax trucker that I bought with my own money. This one is 3 or 4 years old at this point, and this is fine. And it's still very waxy. I don't even have to re-wax it. And that's the one good thing about the wax truckers, is even though when they're made, they're rolled, so they're waxed on both sides. Now, you can't wax them both sides because the liner prevents you from doing so, but you can re-wax the exterior of these. And that jacket being nearly 4 years old at this point, it still does not need to be re-waxed. And that is I love the feel. I love, what is this, the forest colorway. I also have the charcoal or the coal. I don't remember if they call it charcoal or coal, but the field tan is my favorite, and I do probably wear that one more. I've probably worn that more than most of my other jackets, is that jacket right there, and it is still kicking just fine and doesn't even need to be re-waxed yet. So all of these are high quality, durable goods. All of these are garments that I personally would spend my own money on. I think all of these are high quality garments. Again, before the 2.0 hoodie came out, the 1.0 is one of my favorite go-to hoodies, especially when it's cold. I love to throw those on. And I will say, once my body acclimates to this temperature, yeah, it'll be probably a lot of times in the low 20s and teens, but once it hits about 30 degrees and my body's used to it, like constantly, this combination will be something that I will wear all the time outside. I probably won't even be wearing, especially if I'm doing something remotely active like shoveling or doing anything, I will be wearing probably a 10-year hoodie in the vest, and that is how I will be outside in the cold once my body acclimates and my blood thins out a little bit. That is going to be how I will spend 30-degree up days, is basically like that. So I trust to not freeze to death in these Flint and Tinder clothes, and I trust them to last me for years to come, because once again, 3 or 4 years old, still one of my favorite jackets. Flint and Tinder, flannel lined wax trucker jacket, still kicking, still going strong, and all of these garments I think will do the exact same thing. And this transition right here is because I screwed up the outro and I needed to break up the shots so I can get right back into it. So with that, I hope you found this information just a little bit informative. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that bear guy button and ring that bell right next so it's your notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.